Mac test 1212. Mac test 1212. This is the Other Room podcast live and direct from BKK Thailand. Okay. Mac test 1212. Mac test 1212. This is the Other Room podcast live and direct from BKK Thailand, where your host, my name is Joel, aka Authority.
My name is Anthony at Growing Tony on Twitter and Instagram.
So this is our 22nd episode.
Yep. We're
22.
keeping track.
Yeah, man. Now, thank God I can remember this episode. And now we're back on track anyway. So we're recording, dropping every week as usual. Do we have to apologize again?
For what? Man, I'm tired of apologies, man.
What change you did? We normally record every Wednesday, but nights, Sunday, So,
either way, materials are gonna be out, so that's what matters, right?
Yeah. We're trying to be consistent, but we're changing. So you should expect to listen probably from Monday, Tuesday, not like normal.
Yeah.
So what do we have? What do we have on the list?
Well, it's the World Cup season, so you know.
Oh yeah, you're rocking Anjara.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Rashidi Yakini, man.
Yeah, I don't want uniform, so that's why I wore mine yesterday. I knew he was gonna wear yours today, man. It's World Cup season.
Yeah, man.
So how do you see Nigeria's game yesterday? But I was frustrated after the second goal because that wasn't a penalty.
I don't really know, but I feel
that
like
was not a penalty.
But then I feel like it's a penalty actually because
it wasn't.
There was no way you're gonna pull down a guy like that.
Yeah,
you expect that the referee is gonna look the other way.
Why I said it wasn't a penalty is because even though when you pull down someone like that, you have 50-50 chance of if they have to award penalty, if the person is in possession of ball or they have maybe the ball is coming straight to the person, the ball is coming. But I don't just feel man, it's football. Shit happens.
Personally, I don't feel like a lot of Nigerians have a problem with that penalty because they feel like the game has changed a lot recently, and a lot of the things that are called penalty these days, back in the days, they are not.
Yeah.
Just look at the penalty, Peru versus Denmark. That was like the slightest or softest of touch, like you could actually make contact,
But you know what? But don't lie, man. That guy was like, how the fuck you have to play penalty like that?
Like that, like even if you gotta move the post like up a little few inches, it's still gonna be like up.
I was like, hey, no.
And I'm like, okay, we're complaining that basketball is now very soft, but basketball has not really come to that stage where just so much minimal contact and it's already like a free throw or something. So I was like, and that's one of the things. That was one of the reasons I feel like video assistant referee is gonna like ruin the game of football because now, it's already something that's being applicable to basketball.
Yeah.
And NFL, like video review, right?
Been doing that for years.
It kills the momentum of the game. Then, and one of the major complaints about NFL games is because it takes too much time.
Oh yeah,
it takes too much time.
Reviewing this
and that, then calling different timeouts and whatnot.
Yeah.
The same thing too with NBA. But the good thing about NBA is that the NBA is trying to cut down on the duration of games. But that's why you see that usually the referees only have 2 minutes in the fourth quarter to review games.
Oh, okay.
So because if you allow referees to review the whole game, then each game is going to take a lot of time.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be long. It's going to be really
long. So the
long.
fans are even going to get so tired of doing that, of watching the game because it becomes boring. And that's the factor with football, right? Because it's a game that it builds momentum and it keeps going. And the moment you stop it to go see, and even a little bit of those controversies is what make football fun.
Yeah, People argue that. They say
Exactly.
that all the time.
I'm
Yeah.
personally okay with goal line technology, and we saw that work like for the French, right, with Paul
Mm,
Pogba's goal.
Yeah,
And I
yeah, that
felt
really
like,
helped.
okay,
Yeah,
that was
that
a
was really
goal.
good.
And with goal technology, right, it's the right technology because, come on. But with video assistant referees, I just feel
No,
like
it's not. No, that is actually not good for football, though.
I don't
It's
think
not
it
good for.
is.
It's
I
not good
don't
for
think it
football.
is. It
Yeah,
just
goal
takes
line technology
away.
is good, and I believe that there's even a better way you can actually implement the goal line technology with using some chips, whereby anything that crosses the line, you have
Yeah.
an alert.
Yeah. Yeah, I know like it's still like at the developmental stage,
Mm.
right? So with time it's gonna get better, but this idea that games should be stopped
No,
midway for referees to
no, that
especially
was.
when the games have continued, right? Okay, like
Uh,
with the one Peru versus Denmark,
yeah,
right?
the ref actually have
Ga-
to go to the
yeah, the game was already
yeah.
like another minute going towards the midfield. Then he had to stop the game to go review and then decide to award the penalty.
Yeah.
So with that, like I just feel like this is not a game that
Actually,
I grew
yesterday
up loving.
I was hoping for a draw. If you could be able to have a draw, Nigeria against Croatia, that would be like a nice step. But all the African countries team they have started so poorly.
Yeah,
We lost all our games, man.
especially with Morocco, I'm kind of very disappointed in Morocco
The Morocco
because
against Iran.
yeah,
Iran is a good football country.
yeah,
Forget
but
what is wrong
Morocco
with them.
dominated the game for the most part, and they had more chances. Then you now concede. I hate when you concede a
Yeah,
goal
let's
late in the
go.
game because it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
all of your effort is just in futility.
yeah. Yeah.
So that's I was and actually I already stopped watching the game because I was like, oh, the game is almost over. It's a draw. It's a draw.
Oh.
Then later, when I saw the table, the standings, then I saw 3 points for
3
Iran.
points.
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
whoa,
oh,
these
wow.
people later scored. And that's the beauty of the World Cup. Like you
That
see
many goals,
world
yeah.
class uh,
Performances.
performance from the players. And I actually love the Peru team. I think they're really good.
The
They're a really
Peru are
good
good. Yeah,
team.
they're good.
Like they're
I
a
was
really
actually
good
rooting
team.
for them yesterday.
Yes, I
I
was
was
rooting
rooting
for
for them.
them because they play really good football. Even when they conceded the first goal, right? Then they started to attack more, but it was very too late because
So late, yeah.
then I felt like they just had the reality check, like, yo,
Oh yeah.
where I won't go down. And by the time they decided to pressure so hard, it was
It's too
already
late.
too
Yeah,
late.
it's too late.
You know, with the Nigerian game, right? I felt like we were able to control the midfield in the sense that Luka Modric didn't have that much freedom to penetrate as
Yeah, I think
much
he was
as
stopped yesterday. He was
yeah.
stopped. Yeah.
You know, everybody's like a lot of people who follow like major football, right? Like soccer, right? They know that Luka Modric is a really good player
He is, man.
and
He is.
playing one of the maybe arguably the best club in the world, like
Yeah, Real
which
Madrid.
is Real
Yeah.
Madrid, right? So people thought that he's gonna have a lot of influence on the game, and personally, I felt like he didn't really impact the game except scoring the spot kick. Apart from
But
that, I didn't feel his impact on the midfield of the theme
uh,
of the
uh, yesterday I was okay with the way Nigerian players like
yeah. I
we
was
play good. I was
totally okay
yeah.
with it.
But the two goal we considered was like the first one like deflection.
Yeah,
The second one's penalty.
you
I
know
was
the
like,
first goal, right? I
uh,
felt like it emotionally affected
destroy their
Etebo,
morale.
right?
Yeah,
Because there was nothing he could do about it. He didn't know,
yeah.
and he couldn't control it. Like I felt like he went too hard on himself, feeling like, oh, this is all on me. And also, the broadcasting team didn't actually do a good job because they kept focusing the camera on him. Like,
nah.
you know, there are own goals and also there are own goals. That was one of those goals where the ball just made contact with him. There was nothing he could do.
Yeah, playing football, I think most of people are just so, I don't know, like on goal, anything can happen. Like there's no way you can protect an
There are
own
own goals
goal.
that are definitely protectable, like
No, like
avoidable.
dude, if you can avoid it, you would have.
Yes.
As a player, you would
Yeah.
never intentionally cause that.
And that was
That-
not even a silly own goal.
Yeah.
That was not a silly one.
That is why I think people are getting football so wrong. Like don't keep people over own goal. It's not intentional. It's
Hmm.
not intentional. Like if they like, yeah, if the player intentionally kick the ball inside out, yeah, that is like intentional. Mistake happens all the time. That is, as a player, that is one thing you always want. As a defender, that is one thing you always want to be extra careful
Yeah,
on goal.
I feel like take it or leave it. He played an impressive game because that's probably my first time of seeing him
Seeing him
play,
right.
and he played a really good game. But I just feel like the coaching of the team yesterday was a little bit not too good as you would expect in the sense that Mikel was up front in the midfield, and I expect him to be a little bit backward.
Yeah, to be
And
more defensive, right?
yeah, I expected Iwobi and Victor Moses to be the two guys who are actually pressuring.
So
And
they're like calling Victor Moses back a little bit as well.
yeah, and a lot of people complained about Victor Moses being falling down a couple of times and whatnot.
That is what Chelsea made him, man.
But
That's
something
it's
else you
all
can
Chelsea's
look is that
fault.
you need as much free kicks or as much penalty you can
Yes, you
get.
have to go inside. You have to
So
cause a lot of troubles.
so
Now
he's trying to get whatever he thinks he can get. You know.
but the problem is they're trying to play him the way Chelsea has been playing him, like front. You have to
Yeah.
be back again. Oh no, man,
But
that's
I
not
felt
Victor
like I
Moses.
don't understand what Odioni Gallo was doing on that pitch yesterday. Because we could have had Kelechi Iheanacho in replacement of him.
Mm.
We could have also had Ahmed Musa in replacement of him. So
Musa is still good.
why would you play Odioni Gallo that long? Imagine like the
He's
thing
too
is
big for himself, man.
the thing
I think
is
he's overweight.
not really overweight. He decided to build more muscle and whatnot. And I didn't
That
feel his
shit slows
impact
you
at
down.
all. I didn't feel his impact, and I felt like Iwobi should have been given more freedom to impact the game, to move the ball forward,
Forward, yeah.
rather than having Mikel. And I feel like Mikel is already, it's definitely his last major tournament for Nigeria
For sure.
because,
Yeah, for sure.
like, his production was just
It's
subpar.
underperformed.
Yeah, he underperformed. Like, he was slow. He was not really creative in the midfield, and that was why I expected a situation whereby he goes back. He's probably a little bit behind in the midfield and let Alex Iwobi kind of take
Just
his
push
position,
forward,
right?
yeah.
While you and also, I think we should have I played our attack much sharper than we did because for me, I think the defense was okay. I feel like the midfield was also okay, but we just couldn't get it right when it comes to attacking. Until late in the game when Iheanacho came on and we were already 2-0 down. So
There's
what can
nothing
you
you can
do?
do. There's nothing you can
There is
do. There's
basically
nothing you
nothing you
can
can
do.
do at that moment because
Uh,
the team have two options. Like if you score one more goal, then they either go back to defending or trying to score to try to like score
Score
also.
more, yeah.
And worst case scenario for them is a draw, which
I
is
was just hoping for a draw
yeah.
yesterday, man. I was just hoping for a draw. And when the first goal went here, I was like, no, no.
I wasn't disappointed with the way they played,
Yeah,
except
they
the
played
fact that
good. They played good
they
though, but
they they didn't try to they like their offense was really bad to me. The offense was bad, but every other facet of the game, I think they played really well. I think they played really well. Like
so right now our hope of qualifying to the second round is
like for me, the best case scenario was a draw. And if we have had a draw, right,
yes, the table will still be
then
open.
it's wide open for
Yeah,
everyone else.
everyone.
And then with our next game against Iceland, that was going to have a major
Impact.
impact.
Yeah, I
in-
said if you win, yeah, you have a
yes,
hope.
then
Yeah.
you have the hope that okay, let's try to go against Argentina with all we've got. But now I don't know. I don't even know if we can defeat Iceland because
Iceland
with the way
they
they
are
played,
good. Iceland are
with
good.
the way they played against Argentina, man, those guys they have a really good team too. So, but anyway, I never saw Nigeria going to the next round. So I don't
But
know.
can you imagine? But this year, I think we have better team this year.
Do we really have a better team?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
maybe. I
Yeah,
think we have a better team, but we're just drawn in a group where it's
yeah,
difficult
it's
to actually
difficult. Yeah,
get
we have
out.
a better team this year.
We have a good team, but the group is just too tight that we can't get out of that group. So yeah, so that's what it is. And a lot of Nigerians actually bet against Nigeria. Yeah, exactly. Like the thing is
Oh,
if
man.
you bet against Nigeria
How
in
will you do
almost
that?
everything, you will always win. If you bet against Nigeria in almost everything, you will always win. Like um Oloye Akin Alabi, who owns Naira Bet,
Mm.
actually tweeted that on Twitter that most of the bet received yesterday on his platform was against Nigeria.
Oh
So
no.
many Nigerians already knew we were going to lose. So everything that people were just in online about, oh, this is how we're going to win and whatnot, it's just kind of fugazi because they know that we were going to lose.
Dude,
So
Nigerians will always put money first.
yeah, exactly. They were smart with their money. Like if you bet against Nigeria, you're most
Oh,
likely gonna
man.
win.
Uh,
And I don't know what the odds were, but I'm sure a couple of people made money betting against their country. So it is what it is.
yeah, but if we can take our next two game, I think we can qualify though.
How are you gonna take down Argentina?
Who
That's
knows?
that's the Herculean task you've got.
So, but,
But
yeah,
yeah,
anything can happen,
because
man.
I felt like the last World Cup, right? We actually matched them
Yeah, we play.
really well.
Wait,
Because I remember when Messi scores, Ahmed Musa
it
replies.
was 2-1, right?
It was
Or
3-2.
3-2, yeah. It
Yeah.
was a close game.
It was a really close
close
game. Like
yeah.
I was satisfied with the performance. Like when Messi scores, Ahmed Musa scores. When Messi scores, Ahmed Musa replies until the last goal, I think by Messi also. Then we couldn't reply to that. But I was definitely satisfied with that. It's been a long time we've been out of the group stage. And the last time we should have been able to get out of the group stage, then Yakubu Ayegbeni happened.
Yeah. We get Yakubud.
Exactly,
Oh,
right?
man.
Like that's probably the worst miss
In
in
football
the
history.
history of World Cup in recent memories. Like, and I think the most disappointing part of that is that he missed it and he started to smile. Like
It's like you don't even give a
maybe he
shit.
couldn't believe it. Like, yo,
Yeah.
did I just
Did
do
I just do
this?
this? That's
And that was the last we saw of that dude, man. That was the last. But
yeah.
you can't take it away from him that he had a really good career
Career, yeah,
in
in England,
England
yeah.
and also a good national team career, except
Highest goal
that
scorer,
one
right?
game. I don't really know.
Nigerian football team. I don't know. Yeah, I think
I,
it's
I haven't really kept in touch with the data on that. But then I don't think a lot of, and actually we had a lot of people who were supporting Nigeria actually, who were
yes.
rooting for
Dude, the
Nigeria.
jersey alone is fire.
Oh man, what a time to be alive, or maybe what a time to be a Nigerian, because the jersey was
jerseys.
fire, man.
And yesterday everybody was like, yo, dude. And when I wore like mine, I was like, even this one is like it's still hot.
Yeah,
This one is still
definitely.
super
This
hot.
vintage
Yeah.
jersey is hot, and the track suit is fire too. Like,
Everything. What's up with this Ashwebi trend that is going on Facebook and Twitter?
what I should be.
They said Nigeria lost because they wore Ashwebi.
You know, the thing is, there's always going to be banters like online. You know, Nigerians with their bad mouth.
Oh,
It was just more like Nigerians
Oh,
were
man.
waiting for the team to lose. Because one moment they were rooting for the team, and then the moment it just happened, you know, right now I don't want to be a player on that national team. Because if you come online on social media, the things you
you're
see,
gone.
you'll just be like, oh, nah, not again.
Oh man, Nigerians, man.
You know,
I don't
people
know.
said a lot of mean stuff, but it was just all about banters, right? Or just comical relief. Like, yo, we actually went there to model the jersey for Nike, and that's our responsibilities.
And
Like,
then Russian band Nigerian supporters chicken wherever,
you know, I
wherever.
feel
That
like
was
people were
stupid.
no, I feel like that news was just was a false news in the sense that people were mistaking eagles for chicken. Because I haven't really seen Nigerian supporters take chicken to a stadium
No,
before.
yes, never.
So why
But
would they
this-
want to do it now?
But this time, I saw some with chicken, white chicken
I have
painted
not
with
seen
green.
I have
Yeah,
not
I saw
seen
it.
any chicken because
I saw
I
it.
think maybe it's just to symbolize the eagle, right? If people can't get their hand on eagles,
So you
then
have
maybe
to
a
get
chicken. But I have not actually seen a chicken being held by Nigerian
That's a very
fans.
vast symbolism. You
Yeah,
replace
because-
a chicken with
Because
eagle.
yo, what else? When you can't get an eagle, why not just use a chicken? And if you actually look at it on the other side, right? the Super Eagles are not really
We are
Eagles. They
really
are
super
Super Chickens,
chicken.
man.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Man. We're
they've not
super
really been
chicken.
playing
Oh,
to the
man.
potentials that people expect them to play to. And I feel like the coaching crew were just really confused as to what change to make.
Yeah, I think so too. Do this World Cup is one of the football biggest stage, man.
Yeah.
Everything, every mistake, everything you do is going to be
Yeah, it
recorded.
matters.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
matters, man. So there's nothing you can do. And one thing about this is like the coach, they're trying to be over careful. Sometimes you just have to let it loose, man. Just go out there, tell the player, just go have fun. It's all
I
about
feel
fun,
like the
man.
guys played really well.
The
Like
team is good.
and something I feel like, with the way world football is right now, especially with this video assistant referee thing, now every decision can be upturned in the next possession or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
making
That is possible.
contact with another player within the 18-yard box is a very risky
It's a risky
business right
business.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I felt like it was unnecessary to wrap your hands around the neck of that player. So why would you even do it? Because when you look at the live play, that player was not in any position to score at
Just go,
that
yeah,
moment.
yeah. That was so stupid.
So it
That
was
was just so
too
bad of him.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
The contact was too unnecessary that maybe the referee just felt like, yo, there was no point in you doing that.
Doing this, yeah. The ball
So-
is not coming directly to the
Exactly.
player. Yeah.
That player would not have made any impact. And if that game was drawn, was just 1-0, I felt like
No, you still have a chance. Even 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
There's a chance of
I felt
scoring.
like if that game still remained 1-0, then it could have been a different ending right now. Maybe a draw, or maybe we come back from behind. But when you're 2-0 down, it's a whole different ball game. And also, I discovered that the moment it was 2-0, those guys were 2-0 up, the Croatian team. Then they became emboldened
Yes,
to attack
dude,
more
you
because
do everything you want,
because
man.
now what do you have to lose? You're already
Nothing,
2-0
yeah.
up. So they decided to start attacking more because they were like, worst case scenario, you guys score one more,
One
and
more,
then we
yeah.
just
We
play
defense.
boss parking, like play more defensive team game. So they were emboldened to attack us more because they already had the advantage. So if it was 1-0, it would have probably been a different game.
So, let's get out of this football thing and go back to normal life. Yeah.
Same thing we've been talking about.
Yeah, still the same thing with SARS. So I'm going to read what Rugged Man actually tweeted.
Yeah.
So, dear Nigerians entertainers, some
Okay.
of those people being brutalized are your fans.
Fact.
Some are harassed while coming from your shows.
Fact.
Speaking up for them will not end your career or
Fact.
stop benefits you get from whatever or whoever they support you. Return the favor.
Big fact.
That is coming from Rugged Man, Ruggedy
Yep.
Baba. So I think he's the first celebrity to speak out.
Rugged Man has been speaking out since this injustice started. He's the first
Mm.
to be speaking out about this, and he's still the most outspoken.
Outspoken.
He's been very actively involved in this whole End SARS campaign. Like, he's done a lot of videos, a lot of graphics and whatnot against this SARS brutality.
Brutality.
So he has always been involved right from the beginning of this whole campaign to end the SARS brutality. And you have to give it up for the man in the sense that he's for the masses.
Yeah.
And he's
That's
speaking fact, he's speaking truth too. That, take it or leave it, a lot of the young Nigerian youth that are being harassed by SARS, a rogue unit of the Nigerian police force, are fans of Nigerian hip hop
Hip hop
and
and
Afrobeat.
Afrobeat. Yeah, that's fact. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
And we actually know the impact that Nigerian celebrity has or have when it comes down to their influence within the country. Especially
But
when
yeah,
people like Olamide and the rest.
my problem with Nigerian artists is like they don't take. I think we've talked about this on this podcast. They don't recognize how big their voice is.
Yeah.
I don't know. None of them recognize that. None of them knows that they have one of the biggest. Okay, let's aside from president, pastors, I mean the big names, pastor, who is Nigerian artists, their voice is really big,
Yeah,
but they choose not to use it.
exactly. They don't really know what they have. Like they don't know the impact they have, and that's why I say, like on the last episode of this podcast, I said that a lot of Nigerian celebrities and artists are hype beasts. They are bandwagons. They want to jump on the train of what's popping.
Yeah,
And
that's
when
fact.
you actually look at it, like when you look at Kendrick Lamar, he's very acclaimed in the sense of his social consciousness and his ability to use his art, his music, his writing, and everything to depict a picture of and also paint a story of what's happening
Happen,
to
yeah, to the
black
people,
people
yeah.
and also
Same as
disenfranchised people in the United States.
same as J. Cole.
Same thing goes for J. Cole, and the same thing goes for Nas, as well as Jay Z
Jay
too.
Z, yeah.
So
That's right.
now, when you come down home to Nigeria, who is that guy that you can actually point to, except maybe when we talk about maybe people like Lagbaja or the other guys.
Oh
But when
yeah,
we talk about recent memories, you can't really find a guy who's socially conscious who speaks on behalf of the people, except until Fowles, the bad guy, came up with "This is Nigeria." And then you can also say that if what's his name? Childish Gambino never did This Is America, then we never
There,
had something
exactly,
like This
yeah.
Is
There's
Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah.
So that would
There's
not have
no way like
existed.
that.
And why am I saying this? I remember last year on the podcast, I actually denounced and criticized Olamide for inviting Yomi
Yo,
Sass
Mrs.
to
Yeah,
his
to his
show
show.
in Lagos because Yomi Sass is one of the members of the organization that is harassing Nigerians on the street of Lagos, especially to be precise. And people, words on the street has it that he's one of the guys who brutalize people, and he's very crude. Even you can also
He also
you've seen
yeah, he
his
also made the
interviews are
video.
out there,
Yeah, he made a video and an interview
and
on.
his interviews are out there. You can see that this guy is an illiterate. He's very crude, and that's not the kind of persons that you want to trust your life and your security
I want
on.
to associate with as well.
Exactly. So and now you have that being somebody who works in the police force, and he's even being granted interviews. And when you look at his opinion, I'm not saying his opinions are not valid in the sense that he's entitled to his opinion, but his opinion does not hold sort or does not hold standard in the in public opinion, in the sense that the things he's bringing up as excuse is so banal, like, oh, why not have your family member go join SARS and
Do you,
whatnot and risk it? Like there are
man? That
thousands
guy's
of
so stupid,
Nigerians
man.
in
That guy's so
SARS.
stupid.
My own cousin is a member of SARS. He risks his life to protect Nigerians on a daily basis. So how could there actually be a case that, oh, because people can't risk being a SARS officer, then it justifies the police brutality or something? So I feel like, to pick it back to what you're saying, that the artists do not realize the power that they have.
Or maybe they might, but they choose not to use it. I don't know because okay. From what Rugged Man tweeted, Mocheda, she replied, right? I don't know who the fuck is that. I don't know her. I've never heard of
Oh
her before.
man.
She also said, "This is extremely wrong to try and force your beliefs and opinions on others." Can you see that? If you want to help, just help. Stop looking to see if others are doing the same. Focus on your cause and stop judging other people that aren't. I don't know if that is in English.
No, other
I know,
people that
yeah.
aren't. Uh,
Aren't is like are not. Yeah, I know.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just playing with it.
The thing is, for me, right? I feel
Yeah.
like, yo, I know Mocheda like from back in the days. That's it. Like I've not really heard anything from her within the past 6 years. So I've not really kept
Maybe
in
that is
touch
why,
with her.
that's why I
But
don't know her.
what
I
I
think I've
feel
heard
like,
the name before. Yeah,
yeah,
I might
I do
have.
know like she's a rapper and she was pretty active in the game way back. That's why
Okay.
a lot of people know her. Like they just know like she's not really one of those who are popping
Mm,
right
mm,
now.
mm, mm.
And for me, I feel like maybe her comment is based on sentiment of having a problem with rugged man.
Rugged man before. Yeah,
So
probably. Yeah.
it's not really more of her denouncing the campaign as being fake or anything, as Yomi Shogunle has been saying. I feel like the only thing that justifies this comment is maybe having something personal with rugged man,
But if
and
you
the
have
only
some
way.
that, but see, if you have something personal with a rugged man, if you have beef or whatever, Nigerians, we don't have to know that. But commenting on on a tweet that was supposed to be against
Police
Nigerian
brutality,
being
yeah.
brutalized, and you come in with your own personal issue. This is not a personal issue. This is like a public. Every Nigerian should reason with this. This is like an opinion, asking artists, Nigerian artists, entertainers, to come out and speak against people who are buying your record, people who are coming to your shows, people who are actually making you rich. They are being brutalized. What you have this huge voice. Most of them are being invited by the presidency to come to the Aso Rock, but yet they didn't say anything. All right.
Yeah.
Imagine the bunch can't even go against, because why? Because it's benefited from the from government.
I don't even think this whole SARS brutality is political in the sense that it does not affect APC or whatnot. In the
But they're not
sense that
speaking about that.
exactly, and one thing that I feel like is a plausible reason for the silence of a lot of these celebrities because they don't want to lose face within the police. You know why? A
Because they
lot
still
of
hire them
them,
as security.
exactly, a lot of them need these police officers or SAS members as personal security to see when they're having shows or as bodyguards and whatnot. And we know how Nigerian so-called celebrities and VIP misuse that in the sense that there was a statistics that was released recently that shows that a major almost 60% of Nigerian police officers are assigned to VIPs.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we have like maybe about 150 million or 160 million Nigerians having to depend on the remaining 40% of police officers to take care of us because 60% of those officers are guarding VIP. And who are these
VIPs, yeah.
VIPs? Celebrities,
Celebrities and
pastors,
the government
politicians.
politicians,
And
yeah.
then you imagine in a situation whereby you have a pastor like Johnson Suleiman, Ayo Risheja for Oyedepo. You have one pastor having about 7 to 8
It's
police
security,
orderlies
yeah. Yeah.
security.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
these are the same guys who goes to the church to tell you to pray to Jesus, to pray to God, to send you guardian angels that protects you. So the same people who are telling you that you need God to protect you, they are not depending on God for protection. And that's where you get it. Like they need
Oh
7 to 8
man.
armed policemen to protect them. But they are
But
telling
asking you to
you
pray.
that you need to depend on some imaginary powers to protect you. And that's
Man.
hypocritical. And something else is this. Why would a pastor feel like their life is in danger?
By
Why would
who?
anybody
Who?
want to
Yeah.
assassinate a pastor? By who? I understand certain pastors, like maybe Reverend Father Mbaka, he needs police protection,
Yeah,
especially
because
during
it's
the
when you speak
because
out
he's
against the
very
government.
outspoken.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
for a person like Oyedepo or Apostle Suleiman or
But
whatnot,
I
or these
think I
other
think
guys,
Suleiman as well. I think he needs security because he's really going hard against the
that was Fulani
hands
man.
man. Yeah.
He's just finding a way to stay in the news, man. That
Find a
guy,
way to
that
stay in the
man,
news.
I'm very sorry to say, that is a Yahoo pastor.
How many pastors are not Yahoo Yahoo?
Exactly. Like the majority of Nigerian pastors are Yahoo pastor anyway.
Even
And
your
the thing is
favorite
that,
Geo as well is a Yahoo Yahoo.
but the thing is, Nigerians will not want to realize that. So just to piggyback to what I'm saying, that a lot of them don't want to lose face with this police officer and the hierarchy of the police because when they come out to denounce this, then when you need police protection, how
Yeah.
do you go back to them and request for police protection? Because then they could use it against you that, oh, but you were saying, okay, now here it is. While we were all complaining about SARS brutality, right? Korede Bello, Ricardo Banks, Dr. Seed,
Oh, they
and
all
some other,
ambassadors, right?
yeah, they were all ambassadors of the police. But guess what happened? Dr. Seed was accosted by men of SARS. They seized his phone. They were harassing him on the street. They were asking who the hell he is and whatnot. Just the normal brutality and the infringement of human rights that is being meted out to other ordinary Nigerians on the street. Guess what it took? It took Basket Mouth, who was driving past,
Yes.
to
To
see
save
what was
him.
going on, to stop and intervene. Now, apply that same logic to the ordinary Nigerian. Who is that celebrity that is going to
Hold
see
on.
an ordinary Nigerian
Nigerian
and
and stuff.
stop
Yeah.
and try to intervene?
Nobody, man.
Why
Nobody.
should we depend on the intervention of celebrities to be freed from the same people who are supposed to protect us? And now, Nigerians were happy in the sense that Dr. Seed is promoting the police as a good organization, and the same police that he's promoting
Harassing
is
him.
the one harassing him because they don't even know who he is. And that's somebody that is very popular within a country who's been a celebrity
For years.
for years, for over a decade. And people know him. But these officers didn't know it was him. So he got out of that because of celebrity power.
But okay, because of basketball.
Yes,
My question on it: would basketball would have stopped if it was an ordinary Nigerian?
that was exactly why I
by
asked
SARS?
that would Nigerian youths have to depend on celebrities stopping when they are being harassed to be free from the same people who are supposed to
protect
protect them? So now that happened to a guy who was campaigning and appearing in ads for the police. So what happens to the ordinary man on the street? So Dr. Seed spoke out against SARS because it happened to him. So imagine that it didn't happen to him. Ricardo Banks has been speaking out against police brutality for the past 2 weeks now. Why? Because it happened to him.
him as well.
So until it happens,
happens to you,
until
man.
it gets close to you, before it affects
you realize.
before you realize what people are going through. That's why I say a lot of Nigerians lack empathy. You have to have that spirit of empathy towards other people to know that this is wrong. And a lot of Nigerians don't have that until it happens to them when they cry out for help from other people before they realize what others have been going through.
Man, this is getting,
And now,
it's getting really out
so
of hand.
I feel
man.
like
we've been
it
talking
was
about this from the
every
first day
goddamn
of this
episode.
podcast. The first episode. we've been
Because you
talking
know
about
why?
this.
Our friends here who goes back home to Nigeria are victim of SARS. Our friends back home who live in Nigeria
They
are
are.
victim of SARS. Our listeners back
families.
home are victim of SARS. So we got to speak up because we are starting to become an endangered species in our own
No
country
land, man. In our own land.
by the same people who are supposed to protect us.
This
So
is getting out of hand. I think
It's something that I try to reach out to organizations such as this dude at Sega Link on Twitter, Shegun Awosho, PhD. Like he's one of the people who's been leading the campaign against this whole SARS brutality, and you got to give it up for the man because every person who's come to Twitter to complain about SARS brutality, about their experiences or how they were extorted and tortured, he has intervened
everything, right?
everyone that he has known about. So you got to give it up for the man. But some people think he wants to build a brand or popularity around this. And he doesn't. That's exactly why I feel like Mocheda is attacking Rugged Man. Because Rugged Man posted on his page. Secondly, it's his opinion. He's not forcing it on anybody. But you decide to come into his own page
with your own
personal bias or resentment of Rugged Man on this issue it affects basically everybody. I don't get it.
This is a national issue. It's like going around in every state.
Yes.
Except probably the northern part.
Except in the northern part.
Because they don't know who's who and you don't want
you don't want the Almajiris to come against you because when they come against you it might escalate into even something much more bigger than you anticipated. So for that side, then they cool their head well. So that's why it's really disheartening, like what's happening when it comes down to this whole SARS brutality. And the position that Mocheda has taken on this it's really embarrassing. For someone that knows that she has fans, I don't even think if she has fans anymore anyway, because after this happened, a lot of Nigerian youths went on her page
you can
to
trust
start to
Nigeria
attack her.
yeah.
And the thing is, like Martin Luther King would say, injustice to anybody, anywhere is injustice to everybody, everywhere.
Yeah.
Because we talk about police brutality in the United States. to Black Americans, African Americans, and the same thing is happening back home in Nigeria.
By your own people, not even like some white
Yeah, it's not
racist
even a race.
police.
It's not even a race thing right now. It's something that's being targeted at the youth in their own country. It comes under the same banner of police brutality.
Yeah, I think the only difference is like we're not getting shot.
No, people are getting shot.
I mean,
People are
like
getting shot in the sense that
compare the rate
yeah,
to
exactly.
US. Yeah,
At least people are getting shot in the street in broad daylight. But in Nigeria, right, they have been taken into SARS detention.
yeah,
and
they're just
and
doing
then
it for money.
when they are being shot and used to replace other people that have been killed. Some people are used to replace. So, and you can't take it that these guys, they brutalize young Nigerians.
It's getting out of hand. You don't even feel secure. No, you don't feel safe in your own country. You can't even wear nice cloth anymore.
Yeah, you can't look good.
There's
Like
no-
people be like, now when you're going out in the money, you're starting to map out routes
where you have to pass,
where
right?
you have to go through that there is no SARS.
Mm.
You're starting to plan your day that, okay, I have to be back home before 6 or 7 p.m. because of SARS. And also you were starting to address your dressing so that you don't become a target. And at the same time, you're starting to drop your phone at home. People start to say, like, when they feel like they're going out for a short while and not for the whole day, they drop their iPhone at home.
iPhone at home, yeah.
And the same thing, a friend who went home to Nigeria, right? He said I think within the 3 days that he got to Nigeria, he was already being harassed by SARS. But he was driving. So since that day, he drops his iPhone at home. He bought a techno phone that he was using in Nigeria before he came back to Thailand.
That's
So
bad.
imagine
That is
now
bad.
that you have to have contingency plans when you go back to your home country because of SARS. Everybody is being profiled. Imagine being profiled in your own
You know-
country. Who believes that? Like,
Man.
it's crazy.
By your own people.
Young
This is not even South Africa where we have
Okay, you can say,
big
okay,
number
yeah.
of white people living,
Yeah.
or like this is like all black. The biggest, like it's not the most populated black nation in the world.
Yep, fact. So I just don't really get it. Like, it's disheartening, and I'm personally tired of talking about this, but I'll keep talking about
We
it
have
as
to,
long
man.
as
We
it
have
keeps
to.
happening.
We have to talk about
That
it.
we shouldn't have to live in fear in our own country, or we shouldn't be afraid to go back home because you don't want to get shot or get abused or get harassed, get kidnapped by this rogue unit of the Nigerian police force. And shout out to Hush Puppy for coming through from young Nigerians. We know say you get bad mouth. So tell us what Hush Puppy said.
Yeah, I said funny thing is, he replied to Mocheda. The funny thing is that he wasn't even talking to this one. He's
Oh, man.
It's like he's talking to entertainers. The
Yeah.
ones that have fans. An idiot is putting mouth. What is there for someone as a Nigerian, not just a legend in the music industry, to call on people to join mouths together and speak for the people and this non-entity want to talk nonsense. That is bad. Non-entity want to talk nonsense.
You know, first, Hush Puppy doesn't shy away from controversies.
He loved that.
He loves
He
it.
loves it.
And secondly,
and he was built for that.
And secondly, he's very opinionated. He has an opinion about everything, and he sticks to his opinions. And thirdly, he can relate with the people because he knows a lot of
He's
the
from the street.
He's from the street, exactly. He's got his own story. So he's from the project. So he knows the struggle of a Nigerian youth. And being one of those demographic that have been able to move up the ladder, he empathizes with those who are struggling to make it up.
Mm.
And he knows a huge amount of his fans are Nigerian youths. And guess what? Hush Puppy has more admirers and fans than Mocheda.
Fact. That's fact.
Yeah.
Dude, Hush Puppy has been on Instagram distributing money, giving out
Exactly. He's
money.
done more
He's
poverty
yeah,
allegations than
he's going on big names.
yeah.
He's been in
And
a
guess
war
what?
with a lot of big
Guess
names.
what? Right? I heard that recently Hush Puppy had an event in Dubai that got sold out just to see Hush Puppy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, people came just to see Hush Puppy, and I'm like, really? You know, like we might want to talk about his personality or who he is and the controversies. That's a discussion or topic for another day. But based off of this, like the point he made, is Mocheda an entertainer? I don't think so.
Nobody knows. Like I
Especially,
said, I don't know who is Machado.
especially within the past 6 5 years. Hell no. Like what shows has she been on? What chat has she been topping in the past few years? Like she's not been relevant, so she's not really entertaining anybody. Neither does she has new fans, or it's just maybe the glimmer of fans that she's had in the past. Like I've heard her song. I think she was pretty good back in the days. And
Yeah, I think
fourthly,
I've heard. I don't just
it's
keep it.
fact that Rugged Man is a legend in the Nigerian game. Give it up for the man. Like he's a legend. He's made his
He
mark.
is. He is.
There's no way you talk about rap in Nigeria that you will not mention Rugged
Rugged
Man.
man. Yeah.
And we've
There's
actually
no way
given
talking
him
about hip hop.
yeah,
And you're not going
we've actually given him the props on
on this
one of
podcast.
the
Yeah.
episodes of
Top
this
tens,
of
right?
this of the top
Top 10.
tens of this
That's
podcast.
all right.
So
Third
he's a
episode,
legend
third
in
or
the
fourth.
game, and if he's speaking for something that's very related, he's earned his spot. He's earned the right to speak. And for Mucheda, right, I just feel like she'll probably have a rethink about that because her emotions got the best of her.
Yeah.
And she probably maybe think like,
And
oh,
and,
those
and
words
there's
didn't come out
yeah.
right.
Yeah, and there's one thing you have to, as a celebrity, there's one thing, not even just a celebrity, right? Even me, I have almost like probably less than 20 followers on Instagram, on Twitter. I'm always be careful what I post because
Yeah.
once it's out there, you don't know who is screenshot it. They
Yeah.
screenshot it, and that shit will haunt you
yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
That will come
Fact.
after you forever.
Fact.
And what she just did is gonna be, she will be remembered for this.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's the same thing, you know, like with Shatawale with his buffoonery that he's been doing around. Like, you see that the same thing goes for Mr. Easy, right? You see that those two guys don't have love from Nigerians.
Yeah, I don't.
Mr. Easy and Shatawale. And that's the thing with Nigerians. They don't easily forgive you. Like,
Yeah,
the
well,
moment you mess up,
Jesus.
then your own don't finish.
Nigerians are like your regular day-to-day Nigerian mom.
Yeah.
If you do something today, she'll remind you 20 years then.
Yeah, you will keep hearing it. And you know, you can't take away from the fact that Mr. Easy is talented.
He is. He is.
Internationally, he's recognized. You know, but Nigerians at home don't fuck with him. People say shit about him.
Even
Like,
most the Nigerians abroad as well. It's this selling out
Exactly.
shows though, so
he's still selling out shows, especially abroad, but not
Yeah.
at home and people don't fuck with him that much because of the comments he's
he
made.
made, yeah.
So that's one of the things for Mucheda, who basically doesn't have that much of an active career, and to come out and make such statement that she's entitled to her opinion. But
So
I just feel those
who
were not
would
the
you-
right
who-
words.
As an artist, like if you want to really jump on something, who would you rather side with? The masses or the police?
Exactly.
The majority or the minority?
Minority. It's not even.
Who will even have your back?
You know, I don't even think.
Police, they're not going to. The police people not going to come to your show.
I don't even think.
There's no way they're going to make you famous anymore. So
I don't even think it's a case of minority versus majority. Like, it's more about believing in something that you feel is right, even when the majority are against it. It's just like back in the days, words just like.
I mean, when I say
came out.
majority, is like the majority of Nigerians are actually against the SARS brutality, right?
Yeah,
Do you want to
exactly,
side with
because
them or you
they
want
are
to side
victims
with,
of it.
Yeah, side with the SARS or the police who are almost like minority, who are actually like saying there's nothing like that. This thing has been blowing out of proportion, or they just making up stories, which as an ordinary Nigerian, you know, this thing actually exists. I've been a victim of not, I wasn't brutalized, but I was stopped and I was delayed for like probably like 2 hours. And they're trying to dig out something that is not even on my phone.
Existent. You're being profiled, and that's the first thing. Like, you shouldn't be profiled in the first place.
And at the end, I end up paying, I don't know, 10,000 naira or 5,000 naira. That
Yeah.
was like a big one. That was like 10 years ago.
Imagine that.
10 years ago.
And now, just to also like talk a little bit about this in a different form as to Mocheda, right? In the sense that when you look at her, and I don't wait, let's. I feel like we actually dwelling too much on her in this whole thing because personally, I feel like her opinion doesn't really count in regards to this whole conversation. Maybe we'll just move on to better things because no, because I feel like at this point, like we're giving her
Yeah, yeah, too much props,
too
right?
much props, man.
Yeah. So, what do we have? Nigerian parents.
Oh yeah, what actually necessitated this conversation was the screenshot I sent to you,
Mm,
right?
mm.
About
Oh, okay.
yeah,
The girl with a nose ring, right?
yeah, nose rings, and like in Nigeria, I think yeah, mostly in Nigeria. I can speak for Nigeria. Certain things are seen like more as a taboo or something. Not
Yeah.
in the sense like something like having leg bracelets for
Mm,
females,
mm, mm, mm.
having belly buttons,
Yes,
having
yeah.
tattoos,
Tattoos, yeah. Smoking
having
cigarette as a girl.
having nose ring,
Yeah.
or for a guy having ear
Yeah.
piercing. So
Dude, I remember, man. It took my mom few years to get used
to
to
live with
mine.
that,
Yeah.
having dreadlock,
Yeah.
having beard that is being referred to as
Bila.
Osama bin Laden's beard, and the recent ban of such type of beard by even the Redeemed Christian Church of God.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that if you want to get married in the church, that the groomsmen or even the groom cannot have Osama beard. There was a Taliban beard. They call it
Taliban.
Taliban beard.
Oh my god.
So then, okay, the Jesus Christ that you guys worship and pray to,
How the
he's
beard?
got Taliban kind of beard. So I don't get it. That's why I feel like religion is a bit really
Dude.
confusing to the religious leaders these days. You know, I personally feel like there's no problem with religion. I feel it's the
It's the
problem with
people.
the people.
The people, yeah.
And in
The people
certain countries,
who
like
believes.
if you go to Scandinavian countries, right? Christian, people are religious out there, but the society thrives. They're developed. Everything works fine. And when you come down to Africa, where there's also a lot of religious people, things don't work out, and people blame religion for it.
Because
But how about the places where it's worked?
the difference is in those places, right? They don't dwell so much in religion.
Because
they don't
it's the
believe
people.
Yeah, they don't believe the God will come from heaven to give you some more imaginary money, or to
Exactly.
make to enrich you, or to make you to heal the sickness. Or they actually build the thing. If you're sick, you go to the hospital. You don't go to the church.
Yep.
Or like Nigeria.
Yep.
Nigeria, we always like go extreme with
You
our
see someone
with
who is
things,
sick.
with our Western beliefs and whatever.
Someone who's sick, instead of going to the hospital to get treated,
They go to church
they
for
go to
holy
the
water.
church to pray, and they start deceiving them that it's a spiritual attack.
Yeah, it's their family or somewhere your grandma or something from
they
your
just come
someone
up with
from your
some
village.
imaginary enemies or village people that is pursuing you, that is doing you, that is the cause of your.
Now
you
they
know,
make every
Everything is spiritual.
grandmom now they winch.
Exactly. So why I'm saying that it's that prejudice, especially within, it's a lot of people feel like this prejudice is rooted in conservatism because we're a very conservative nation. Society, whether Muslim or Christian or whatever, we're very conservative because we just feel like certain things are not our culture, like the nose ring and a guy having the ear piercings and these certain things and having dreadlock and whatnot. We feel like it's not part of our culture or sagging your trouser.
Yeah. I can't go
Yeah,
against
usually
that.
there was, okay, here's the story. There was this girl, when I was in the Polytechnic at Ocean State, I was hitting on her. I really wanted her back in the days. So she was really very controlling, like she was very dominant. So and I used to sag my trousers because
Yeah, hell, homeboy.
I've had a lot of
homeboy.
I've had a lot of influence from hip hop,
yeah.
right? Like 50 Cent and whatnot. So some of the things I've seen in 50 Cent, Eminem, and Snoop Dogg's video
Trying to-
where now my body language and my demeanor So I come to campus sagging my trousers and whatnot.
Jumpy
And she don't like it
OPP.
because she's a Muslim girl. She don't
Oh,
like it. So when she sees me from afar, because she knows I want her so badly and I like her, she'll just say, pull it up.
straight like that.
From like 50 meters away, like with the way she say pull it up, or
Yeah, yeah.
just the symbolism of her hand, she's already telling me like, I know you're sagging, now pull that trouser up. And I got no choice because I wanted her. So I had to pull it up. You
Oh,
understand?
man.
And why is that? Because there's that mentality that having your a sagging trouser is based on gangsterism.
Yeah.
And people within the society don't want that because they feel like once you start to have those traits of gangsterism, the next step is being a cultist, then being a murderer or
Yeah,
an armed
yeah.
robber.
I'm
So it
right, yeah.
progresses that way because that's how people have been programmed to think in that part of the world.
Yeah, and you will see friends started calling your mom, calling your
And that's,
brothers, and
yeah. Oh, let me give you another story. You know, I have these crazy stories, man. Back home in Aito, right? After I just finished my secondary school in Abuja and I was
uh,
home. So before I went to Edo State. So you know Mama Mina's joint,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's where people smoke weed and have JD and all these crazy alcoholic drinks and sexual enhancement drugs and whatnot.
Oh, man.
So at that point, the Baba,
Oh,
my
okay.
half brother, right? He was hitting on a girl who was Amina's little sister,
Mm,
but she was more matured and taller than Amina. So I just came back from the city, educated and whatnot, smart compared to the people back home, and she also studied outside of the community, right?
yeah.
So she studied in a boarding school and an all-girls school. So she was smart. She could speak good English and whatnot. So she's seen me around. So she likes the boy, you know. So through the Baba, right? She told the Baba to bring me along whenever the Baba is coming
yeah.
to the shop and whatnot to see her younger sister. So I just go hang out there and I see like all these bros within the community smoking weed, drinking those badass Monkite, Alomo. Not there was no Alomo then, it was just Jedi, Monkite, Paraga, and all those
All
things.
those conk gin, man.
Badass. So, and I can't drink all of these things because I was 14, 15 at that point. So, but I was just going there to chill there, and she just brings me like maybe a bottle of beer or she brings me a malt drink, and I just drink it while she's trying to like help her mom sell stuff. And when she's free, she just comes, we talk and whatnot. So people were starting to see me there, and they went back home to my mom and be
Yo,
like,
he's
"Yo,
smoking weed now.
your boy is starting to smoke weed." You know, like I just came back home and everybody believed that I was starting to smoke weed because I was hanging out
Now
there.
there, yeah.
And I can't lie, I can't deny the fact that I liked the smell of weed, but I just I couldn't smoke it because I couldn't smoke even cigarette. But the fact that I was going
You're
there,
hanging
they
out
didn't
around,
know
yeah.
that I was just hanging out there because of the girl. So they immediately concluded that I was smoking weed. There was nothing I could say to like dissuade their opinion. They were already like, "Oh, you're smoking weed." They call it Morocco because you know that's what they call it in Edo State, right? And my mom already have that being from Edo State. My mom and the sister, so they was, "Oh, you're smoking Morocco and whatnot." So they banned me from going there.
Oh, man.
So there was no way for me to see her.
And there was no fun then.
Exactly. So now, the lesson, the takeaway from this is that they already imagined that I was smoking weed at
Yeah.
14, 15. And I don't even smoke weed at this point of my life. And I never did that actively, except maybe in Amsterdam or a couple of places I just smoke once in a while. So they already felt like me smoking weed means that
You're already out of touch. You're out of
exactly that
control. You are already in the street. There's nothing your parents can tell
every
that you can
bad
believe. Yeah.
imaginable thing
Things,
is
yeah.
what I was gonna become. And I was sagging my trousers. So with all of that,
And then mom have to rethink again. Or are we sending him to college?
yeah,
Oh,
exactly that.
Oh, it's gonna be like a lot.
Like
It's
that's
gonna
the
be a
breeding
lot.
ground because he goes,
Yeah,
he
once he
becomes
go-
a cultist, then
cultist,
everything it just goes out of
It's
hand.
like waste of money. Oh man, African
Exactly.
parents.
So there's already that prejudice that once you're doing this, then you're already a bad person. That's the same thing that goes with nose ring and these other things that is just about pop culture. And for women, right, it's I actually feel it's a very attractive thing.
Dude, when we were growing up, like we have this where like, most of the girls they use this waist bead, right?
That's
Eleke.
what, yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah.
That thing is sexy as hell.
But guess what? Back in the days, they would say girls who use that are
The
emery.
Emery, yeah. Yeah,
That they're man-made, they belong to some occultic water spirits and whatnot.
yeah. Well, that
That's
is
already
nice.
that's the symbolism then. And once you see a girl, like I felt the same way too. Once I see a girl that has those bead or those leg bracelet, I already just believe that oh, she's into some spiritual society. That she's a bad girl, like she's got some evil spirit in her.
No,
Because
dude,
that's what in my immediate society taught me, and I didn't think outside of that box. I got boxed up in that mindset that
no,
oh,
Africa very with conspiracy, man.
exactly.
So
So
much. Like
now,
if you have a daughter and she's like light skin, she's automatically
yeah,
Emirates.
yeah,
Like all my
Emery, like
sisters,
yeah,
they're like
she's a
Emirates by
mermaid.
nature.
That's it. And now the problem with that is that that mindset, right? It actually grows with people, and they already have it. They never try to get out of it. So it grows over the year. That's the only belief they had that that's what is true. And now, when us that were growing up, right, we exhibit any of this behavior, when you want to see the parents of your significant other, right, now you have to start to avoid certain things like having dreadlock when you want to visit your potential in-laws,
Mm.
having an
Yeah,
earring,
yeah.
ear piercing as a guy when you want to visit your potential in-laws. You don't want to put them off by any of these things because we already know within our conservative society that it is frowned upon,
Mm.
except for parents that are very open-minded who don't really care, that they trust their daughter or their son to
To
make
make a right choice.
the right choice. So it's one of the conversations on Twitter in Nigeria today that okay, the guy wanted to go see the parent, right? See the parent of the girl. No, the guy wanted the girl to come see his
Yeah, yeah. Let
parents.
me even read it out. It's like
Yeah,
she had a nose ring.
yeah,
He wanted to take her to see his parents.
yep,
He asked her to remove the nose ring. The fight started. She said, he didn't love her enough to defend her in front of the parents.
yeah.
She said she's a strong woman and she can wear whatever, anything. He's helpless. Poor lad.
You
Strong
know,
woman.
one of
Feminism.
yeah, exactly. Like that's actually something I wanted to point out. Like
Oh man.
the way that a lot of African female throw around buzzwords, like I'm an independent woman, I'm a strong woman,
How
this and that.
are you
Like
an independent woman, but you still when we go out, I still have to pay for everything. I have
exactly. Like you still have to depend on a guy to pay for dates, to pay for your taxi, and to pay for different things that they never planned for. That's why to be an African male, it's a whole
Man.
struggle in its own because there's so much responsibility that the society puts on you.
A
And
lot.
once you're not financially buoyant or rich,
Oh man.
you basically can have a really good relationship
At
because
all.
you have to buy the latest iPhone for your girl. The latest human hair has to be purchased on your paycheck. All dates have to be on your check,
your check.
on your bills. So all these things, and then you have your personal stuff to do, and you have your family and all of that. That's why it's so difficult for a lot of African male to be able to progress up of the economic ladder because there's so much
Because it's like
expectation that
yeah,
the society
once
puts on
once
you.
you're working and you're actually earning money, the money was supposed to be for you. Maybe probably your salary supposed to be for you, but now you have a girlfriend, it becomes double.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the money that meant for only one person can serve two people. There's no way you can progress with that.
yeah.
If like maybe you're supposed to be saving like at least 10,000 naira every day, and you don't even have even before the month end, you already run out of money because you have to buy this for your girlfriend, and sometimes even what you spent is even more than what you earn. You know, It's
Yeah.
becoming like more of like how will I call it? It's like overload. You overload. You're
You
overloading your
know,
paycheck.
when you go down to Twitter, Nigeria, right? There are a lot of conversations that affect the Nigerian youth, either male or female, that goes on there. There was a point where there was a tweet that actually started a conversation about if you don't earn up to 100K naira, which is about $250 or $300,
Mm.
right? That you don't deserve a girlfriend. You might
Who
say three
says
hundred
that?
dollars. You might say $300 is
That's
very small, but
9,000 baht.
when it comes down to Nigeria, right?
Uh,
$300 as a salary is actually a lot because the minimum wage is about $50,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I'm right. The minimum wage is about
And
$50.
cost
So
of living is not that
yeah,
expensive as well.
so
So
if you get paid like $300, that's still a lot because I know a lot of graduates that don't even earn more than $100, which
$100,
is
yeah.
like 36, 35K, right? So now I felt like if a person earning 100K doesn't deserve to be loved or find someone to love, then what's actually the standard? And guess
Maybe
why? You know
$1,000.
why a lot of ladies be like, oh, a guy earning 100K doesn't deserve to be loved? Because they expect you to foot their
Their
bills.
bills. You have to pay for
And they feel like,
everything.
okay, with my bills, there's no way your 100K can pay my bills. Why would you
Want me as a
describe
girlfriend.
yourself as an independent and strong woman and a feminist, and you need a man to actually foot your lifestyle? To
I think
me, I don't believe that's being independent or being strong.
no Nigeria just like dude. I think sometimes the Western influence when it comes to Nigeria, we always
Yeah.
overuse everything. We over
That's why I
exaggerate the
feel
whole
like
thing,
they
man.
just jump on the buzzword and they start to use it without actually considering the ramifications of those words. And I've had people that I've had conversations about feminism with that I feel like I don't have a problem with feminism. I only have a problem with the way feminism is being
It's
practiced in Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah.
And the problem is this that one approach does not fit it all. The form of feminism that is being practiced in Western world should be limited to the Western world.
Yeah.
We should practice
Our
Afro-feminism.
yeah.
A
That has to
feminism,
that goes with our culture, more with our culture.
exactly, a feminism that is cut across the kind of problem that is specific to our culture and women rights within our region. That's the kind of feminism we should be practicing, not the same global feminism that has been practiced maybe in the Western world or else.
We don't have the same
We
culture with Western. We don't
exactly.
we everything is totally different.
And
And that is the like let me just roll back to religious thing. The only the problem we have in Nigeria that has to do with religious because we take religion the way um or in a Western sense, then we blow like the entire thing out of proportion,
yeah,
right? Because like even now the people who practices religion, right? In like the Westerners who introduced the Christianity to Africa, they are not even more conservative anymore. They're like
yeah,
now everything is like so open minded. A lot of them don't even go to church anymore. But back in Africa, everything now we're going so deep in it. Not Islam. You see people like in some state in Nigeria, they're trying to we have Sharia laws
yeah.
and things like that.
When a particular phenomenon or a culture comes down to Nigeria, we overdo it. We
Always,
blow it out of proportion.
all the time.
Why? Okay, a one example to go back to Christianity is that evangelism and prosperity preaching started with the likes of Benny
Benny
Hinn
Hill,
and
yeah,
Creflo Dollar and
yeah,
all of
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
and those guys. But guess what? The Nigerian guys have blown it out of proportion.
Everywhere, man.
They now preach so much about prosperity and their own form of evangelism is now so different than what they actually copied. And the people who actually started this whole prosperity preaching and whatnot, which is Benny Hinn, he's starting to take a backseat in the sense
Yeah, I
that,
saw a
oh,
tweet.
I feel
Yeah,
like maybe what I started was not really good for Christianity. But now the Nigerians are already jumping on it. Now you have billionaires like
yeah, pastors
Ashimolawo,
and whatever.
Oyedipo, and these other guys that have made so much money. They've acquired so much from a very poor congregation.
And now you see every single Nigerians now want to be a pastor. They want
Exactly.
to be politicians. They want to be pastor. Everybody want to be church because they know you can make a fortune out of it.
Yep. Yep. You
You
hear
can make
say
a lot out of being just a pastor.
we've
People will
actually
come.
we've actually left the initial conversation, which is about African parents' prejudice.
Now we go back to
Yeah. Because now why I'm saying this is because now for this girl who this lady who says she's a strong woman, right? The problem is you could look at it from different sides in the sense that you expect someone who's more understanding
Mm,
and very flexible in adjusting the things when you want to have a partner, right?
yeah.
And also at the same time, you want someone who's real to their identity and to their real self. In playing the devil's advocate and supporting that young woman, you can be like, she wants to be true to her potential in laws and let them know this is who I am.
Exactly.
That,
Yeah. This is
okay,
who I
if I'm
am. Yeah.
coming to every family function or event, you
You're
should
going to see me
expect to
like
see
this.
the
Yeah.
nose ring that
Yeah.
you shouldn't be shocked when you see it and be like, oh, when did you start doing this? Right? You can
Mm,
make that case for her because that's her vantage point from where she's looking at this, that this is who I am. I don't have to change it to impress anybody or to fake it. And also from the male perspective, you love this lady.
yeah.
You want your family to accept her
Have to compromise
because in Nigeria, right, your family has to accept your wife, your spouse,
first.
because you know why?
Yeah.
They always say it, especially in Yoruba culture, that once you marry a Yoruba man, you are married to the
To the
whole
family.
family. And I think
That's
it's
fact.
almost the
Yeah,
same
that's
thing
fact.
across Nigeria, right? If you marry a family in Nigeria, if you marry a person in Nigeria, you're married to the whole
Whole
family.
family. Yeah.
And also, if you want to have a good marriage in Nigeria, you need to have a good reputation with your
In-laws.
in-laws.
Yeah.
Because if not, man, it's gonna
If you
be
have a bad in-law, there's nothing.
not
There's
even a
no way.
bad in-law. If you have a bad reputation with your in-laws that make them to dislike you or have a certain disdain for you, then you are as good as gone because they're waiting for your downfall. And every little point,
Yeah,
they're just waiting to
I don't tell you
interfere in the
before.
relationship. That, oh, I told you she's not a good girl. She's not from a good family. That actually spills out because you're getting attacked. Your parents are getting attacked because they say like, oh, your parents didn't bring you up
Wrong
right.
way. Yeah.
So now it comes down to the male vantage point where you expect your spouse or your significant other
Mexico scored.
against Germany, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, man, that's a cracker going on there. So you would expect that for the guy, he wants you meeting his parents for the first time to be loved because he enjoys being with you and wants his family to also love you too because it's the first time. And usually back home, first impression matters.
Matters a
If you
lot.
take a
Yeah, a
girl,
lot.
and also something is this, you might take her to the family, right? To your family and meet your family. And everything is all good. Everybody smiles, which is what I call cosmetic nicety. Like
Cosmetic
everybody
nicety.
smiles, act like it's so
Yeah, it's so
cool,
cool,
like you're
yeah.
so good.
And as soon as you're out,
The moment you
the
leave,
gossiping started.
now the actual conversation starts. Like, where did you bring that? Where did you meet her? We brought you up the right way, not to meet someone like this, not to date someone like this, not to make choices like this. They start to tell you your future that someone like this is what happened. They'll tell you like you see it every time in the movies. That's what's gonna happen to you. It's what happens. Like you can't say that you've not heard this kind of conversation.
Yeah. A
We've
lot.
seen it. We've heard this kind of
A lot.
conversations.
A lot.
And also people are very prejudiced when it comes down to their assessment of people based off of their physical appearance.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing too. Like, okay, somebody made a good point, which I feel is valid. Now, if tables are turned, it's the girl who is taking the guy to go meet her parents. And I am the guy in question. And I'm dressed like Takashi 69. Yo, let's look at it from that
Yeah,
point
the
too.
girl will complain as
That
well.
I am being
can't-
who I
yeah,
am,
I can't
right?
take you to my mom like that. I
I'm
can't take you
being
to
my real
parents like
self,
this.
which means I have several tattoos all over my face.
Your hair is
I
like
have
purple,
some-
pink, wherever.
I have a
And you're
rainbow
sagging like
dread.
yeah.
I'm sagging. I got chains all over my neck. and I go into a Nigerian family to
Oh
go meet the
no,
parents
you
of the
no,
girl,
please don't even try it, man.
what do you think is
They
going to be
won't
the
even let
response?
you enter their house. No, you're not coming in. There's no way
Exactly.
they will let you come in.
Exactly. That's why I feel it's more about
And
compromise.
if they let you come in, the father is gonna tell you straight up, uh, no,
We're not giving you our daughter
there's nothing you can do.
because already that image, right, that you're portraying, you
You might
probably
be
a
a
good
good,
person,
very good person, yeah.
but there's already a
It doesn't really
prejudice.
matter, man.
There's already the bias against your kind of lifestyle based off of the pop culture depictment by the media of people like you. That, oh, people who are dressed like that, who have facial tattoos or tattoos all over their face with dreadlock, it's not just anyhow dread. It's a rainbow colored dread. It's not just any tattoo anywhere in your body. It's on your
Your
face.
face, your neck,
You might end up marrying that girl, but it will
but
be
no,
without the consent of the
yeah, the
parents.
family will be like totally against
So
it.
exactly. So I feel like in this situation, right, compromise is just what's needed in the sense
Exactly. You can
that,
just do it for the first time.
yeah,
That
then
doesn't mean you're gonna take off your nose ring all the time. Just
exactly,
take it off.
when you've already been able to
You're not gonna
build,
you're not gonna stay with the parents forever.
yeah, when you've been able to build that relationship, the self-respect and the love, then you can start to review yourself.
Eh,
And
And again, it would be so easy for the guy to actually tell the parents like, yo, this is my girlfriend actually took off her nose ring when it was coming. She want to, you guys like, just in case you're gonna see her somehow with the nose ring, she had that on. So people actually respect that. Oh, she actually did that just to meet us.
yeah,
People like,
and actually, if you also look at it in the sense that when you meet people for the first time, it's like in media studies, right? It's like a layer of onion. You know, when you start to
peel it
peel
off. You
the
see, yeah.
layer of onions, right? When you meet people for the first time, maybe your potential in-laws, right? You don't reveal your real self. You reveal the part of you want them
Them to see,
to see.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
gradually when you start to meet them over the
Over
years
again, they
and
get
many
used to
times,
that.
they start
Yeah,
to see
they get
you.
used.
They
Yeah,
start to know who you
who
are,
you
your
are.
character, and everything.
Mm-mm.
So it's like the more you get familiarized with them, you start to
Of the layers, yeah.
peel off the layer before you figure them out completely and they figure you
You
out
out
completely
completely,
too.
yeah.
So it's not, I don't think it's really about faking it. It's about giving them the
It's not. This is not about being real or being true to yourself.
exactly.
Or this
That's
is
how I
like
feel.
this is
That's
more
how
of
I
like
say it.
ethics thing. Like there's things you have to do, right? Or if I'm going to meet someone's like if I'm dating a girl, we're going to see the parents. Like back in Nigeria, not here. I actually don't go with my earring. I will take it off.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is out of respect because you don't want to create an image. You don't want people to know you who you are
Yeah.
completely the first time.
Yeah.
It's more of like progressive have to be a process, you know. And the more they see
Exactly.
people and don't be surprised, right? If they see you more than 2 times, they like you, right?
Yep.
They like who you are. It doesn't really matter if you have 20 nose ring, man.
Yeah.
They're still going to
They're
love
still
you.
gonna, if they're gonna
They
love you,
might
they're
be like
gonna
complete.
love you.
Oh, you have this new, just new. They might
There's
actually
yeah.
like it.
Yeah. You know, like even before coming abroad, right? I've had my own prejudice or bias about girls who have belly buttons and nose ring and whatnot. And when I dated Kavita, who has that, I fell in love with it.
I love
I
it.
was like, oh shit, this thing is
This is
cute.
nice. Yeah, you
Like
can
that
actually
kind
play
of
with it.
eliminated my
You play a
bias
lot,
or
yeah.
prejudice about girls who have it. And then I started to date someone also like last year who had nose piercing, and I felt like, oh shit, this shit is cute. And if you don't even get close to her very well, you won't actually notice
Yeah, you won't
the
say it,
nose
right?
ring.
Yeah.
And when I spoke to her about it, she was like, even my parents haven't noticed this yet.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so now imagine even if that happens, that she goes out with that and she might not even be noticed
Yeah.
that she has a
Yeah, she
nose
has it.
piercing,
Yeah.
because it's very unusual for an African girl to want to have it. And African parents, take it or leave it, they're
Oh man.
judgmental. You can't take that away. They're judgmental, they're prejudiced, because a lot of the things, it's more like the way their idea of the worldview is being formed is by maybe religion.
Yeah,
So
that
a
is
lot,
so.
yeah,
You know what's so funny? Yeah,
conservatism is
it's
built on
on
religion.
religious. Yeah, that is right.
Yeah,
That is really really
and
right.
that
Because I remember my granddad. Right, he actually has tattoo.
tattoo is actually rooted in the African
Not
culture.
only tattoo, piercing as well. You don't know, right?
I didn't know about that.
Everything like it's more of our culture than we even think. But as soon as we started believing so much in religion, everything becomes a taboo. You can't do it. You see, people can't even like the people who believe in African religion, like more of our traditional religion, like
Yeah,
Ifa or whatever. They can't even say the name anymore. The name has been demonized
exactly.
completely.
Imagine if your name is Ifa Tunde. People will
I know
actually
a
want to
pastor.
call you
Yeah,
Tunde
yeah.
without the Ifa.
I know a pastor who changed his name.
Yeah. A guy was also talking about his father converted from Islam to Christianity, and his name used to be Muhammad. The moment he joined Christianity, the pastor forced him to change his name, and the
Can
son
you
is like,
imagine
"I
that?
loved my dad's name as Muhammad, and I don't know why he got forced to also change the name the moment he converted to Christianity."
Yeah.
And I felt like,
Islam also do that. If you
what
convert
exactly?
from
What's the
Christian to, yeah,
point?
they give you an Islamic name.
I think it's a mindset. You don't actually need to go through the legal struggle of changing your name.
I
Your
would even
identity
think of
get
that.
changed, and people who've known you for years now have to adapt to your new name and whatnot.
Jesus' name in Islam is not Jesus.
No, the prophet
Isa.
is Isa. Yeah.
Moses' name is Musa.
So I don't know. It's
Why
just a
was
whole
so,
mindset
man?
and the way religion has been constructed. And now also remember back in the days, right? My uncle Rico, like Mike's dad.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
know, bro.
So remember, like when at that point in time, he was the only guy, or maybe Baba Romo, who had long hair and beard,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
within the community, he was seen as being
No,
different. He was seen as a rebel because he
nobody
had
even
so
want to
much beard.
associate with him.
Exactly that. Oh, why would you have this much beard and whatnot? And especially for someone who was not religious,
Mm.
because if you look back, then you had
He
like
didn't. No, he didn't even go to
Baba.
church.
This I think I this there was this there's this Baba who was a prophet who had long beard, but he was a prophet, right? So that was linked to the prophet Elijah
Yeah,
in the Bible, that
yeah.
it's biblical for a
Mm.
prophet to
To
have
have
long
beard.
beard. That was linked to that. But for my uncle Rico, who was not religious, who doesn't go to the church, to have that kind of beard, he was being demonized, he was seen
Mm.
as a rebel, but nobody could actually say anything because my dad was the king, so you don't
Yeah,
actually want to
you
do
know,
anything.
yeah.
So now, when I went back home last year and I had my long beard and my hair, right? People were saying things, but they couldn't really say anything because they were saying things to my face in a joking manner, like in a
Mm.
very funny manner, in the sense that, but I know deep down, if I am not who I am,
Yeah,
they
they
would
would have
have,
come at you, man,
yeah, they would
straight.
have come at me. And also, I just make joke like, yo, I'm trying to look like my uncle Rico. So with that, they're like, oh
Oh,
yeah,
okay. There's
true
like a
that.
more
Like
family thing.
there's already been a precedent.
Yeah.
So I'm just actually just continue that precedent has already been in the family. So
Mm.
that was for me my escape route where I was just saying, oh, I just want to be like my uncle Rico. But I know if I'm not who I am, people have had more opinion to say. But regardless of that, they still say whatever they want to say. But
Trust Africans, man.
it just never
They will always
affected
find it.
me
Yeah, they will always
anyway.
find a way to say it.
But I could see through that it's because of the conservatism and the things that have been seen with having beard and having dreadlock and whatnot. So that have informed their opinion. So yeah,
So with that being said,
yes sir.
I think it's time to close
Been a
the
lot of
podcast,
words
man.
being said,
Yeah.
man.
So it's been like an 1 hour 20 minutes.
Yep.
So we're running up. This is the Other Room podcast. And we're your
Episode
host.
22.
Yeah, episode 22. We're your
Yeah.
host. My name is Joel, aka Authority. And let me quickly say this. I think next week,
Yep.
we are going live on Facebook.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to
Fact,
have a
fact.
live Facebook episode. It's not gonna be probably the audio is not gonna be recorded, just like live Facebook episode. And he's gonna share on his wall.
Yeah.
on his on his Facebook wall. And keep supporting us, subscribe to our
I feel
channel.
like I need a tutorial now. Like, but today I was just going through my Facebook and I feel like I need to hand over my Facebook to
To
somebody
someone
to
else.
control. I have been thinking about it. Like, I need to just post that this Facebook is now being managed by so
So
person
person,
or
right?
whatnot. Because I just
It's
feel
too
like
much
I don't
things,
know how
yeah.
to actually handle this. I'm more interested in Twitter and that's it. So I
No,
feel like I need somebody
some
to.
okay, like what you did, you throw your profile picture out there and you left, and it was
Yeah.
burned off Facebook. You don't have to
Yeah.
like you just throw something there.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Yeah.
If I can actually sign off my Facebook, I would just like come once
And
in a while,
guess
just
what?
throw something up.
I've had people inboxing me like, "Oh, with your number of people that you friends you have on Facebook and other places, that please help me to promote this."
You see?
And I just feel like
You know,
these people don't know. I don't really have the time and whatnot to just throw these things out there. You know, like I had Yomi send me like
Yeah,
a
he's-
post and
he's
he's like,
close,
"Please
yeah.
help me to publicize this," and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." That's my own brother, right? But I was like, "How do I
Just-
manage
you know-
all of these?"
you
And
know, the point is you don't stay. You just post it
that
there
was
and just
why
leave.
I felt like, oh, I need somebody
Yeah.
to help me manage this, and I'll just be like, you know what? Somebody send me
Manage
this.
Facebook.
Can you help me to post it?
Post
And
it.
yeah, you know,
And
I just feel
reply,
like
and reply to the comment.
I still need to, and I usually forget, right? So I just feel like I'll just go back there and just be like, oh, if you are in Lagos or around, please go support my brother and this.
As
So
it's
gotta
as that.
do it.
Yeah, just do
Yeah.
it. Just post it there. Just
Exactly.
you don't have to comment or reply to everything. You put all the information people need and just send
You know,
out.
because like you have people like Lolo who calls himself
Oh.
Simba, right?
Oh man.
He
Yeah, I saw your comment. I saw your reply.
he's very active, right? On
We
on
comment
Facebook
everything.
and I just feel like I wish I can do this, but I just can't. That's not who I am. You know,
I'm,
years of
I'm
Facebook
always
is
yeah,
way
I'm
back.
always on my Facebook, but I don't post anything. I don't even say anything. I don't even comment. Probably just repost from the group.
Yeah.
That is what I do, man.
The
When
reason I pop up once in a while is just to let people know that
I'm still here.
I'm still here. I'm still counting my blessings, you know, and that's it. Like, so that people don't start to wonder, like, oh, what's up with this dude?
Yeah.
You know, like I was just hibernating, and that's what it is.
Man. So our Facebook Live section is coming. Probably it's gonna be like three of us, me, you, and Taram. Or
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
four.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta do something.
yeah. We might change location as well. I don't know. Maybe we can use here, but it has to be in the afternoon. Yeah, it's
Okay.
okay. We are.